Good evening and welcome to the Stock Farm Technical Complex for the second matchup in the doubleheader in the DFA President's Cup Premier League edition 2025. For the last spot in the semi-finals, Belfast Estate Mahu Soca Strikers come up against the Valvoline We United FC in the final matchup. So far, we have had Dubla FC going through, Portsmouth Bombers and Southeast all winning their quarterfinal matchups. This to make the final fixture for the next round. Please excuse me as I just pull up some information here for you so we can just confirm the fixtures going into the next round. So we will have Dubla versus Southeast in semi-final number 2 and Portsmouth Bombers versus the victor of this matchup going into semi-final 1. Mahu winning the preliminary round matchup against Harlem earlier in the week and are back here at Stock Farm to secure themselves a place in the next round. Allow me to say good evening to my co-host.
Daniel Serafin.
All right. And he will be assisting me here this evening as we are here to witness this encounter. Notable absences of success for both teams as you have the Mario Challenger for Mahu and Kian Thomas for We United off to pastures anew, trying to expand their professional careers. All the best of luck to them in all their endeavors. We United, a team who has also lost Fabio Drago in recent times due to success as well. Players moving on to pastures new, trying to raise their level as best as they can.
Yes, the players have moved on. Hopefully, they can have more success out there, and they can set the pathway for more of our Dominican young athletes to follow.
Correct. And can we just get the lineups for the teams? Okay. And for the Soca Strikers, we have Dante Challenger, Donnell Abraham, Clemson Isaac, Nick Anthony, Jamo Talbot, Tequante Woodman, Dylan Augustine, Jan Timothy, Addison Dennis, and Jan Boston. Edison Dennis, number 24, also starts. So that's 1, 4, 18, 9, 15, 17, 13, 19, 11, 12, and 24 in the order that their names were given.
And for the We United, we have Jovan Senakol in goal, Phyllis in Lockhart, Lennon Barnes, Dale Dangleben, Ethan Nicholas, Michael Gasper, Roosevelt Coppel, Addison John Baptiste, Jalil Alexander, and Alison Gasper.
Yes, Alison Gasper, young number 20, a very promising young and upcoming player. And the game is off. Mahu starts on the ball. Jan Boston, intimidating figure on the far side. Tequante Woodman giving him support. Dylan Augustine wrestled off the ball there by Dale Dangaben. However, he was able to win a throw-in for his team here. Woodman taking the throw. Boston trying to get around his man, winning the throw-in. Boston taking a quick throw. Jamo Talbot trying to get the ball down. Dale Dangaben doing a very good job there, holding his man off and winning the foul there. Good play from Dale. Definitely looking more and more the seasoned player that he has grown to be. Lovely ball driven there. Michael Gasper taking it on the chest, trying to find Philson Lockhart. However, unable to find him. Ball bobbling up there. Ball played forward and Challenger able to collect easily.
Yes, and the Mahu Soca striker starts up from the left. Another pass to a winger.
Isaac a bit too soft there on the ball. Dispossessed easily, however, Mahu through Augustine trying to apply some pressure. However, the ball goes out. Mahu winning the throw in. Isaac unable to keep the ball. Lockhart easily able to keep the ball away from him. And Lennon Band is stepping back, allowing Addison Dennis to steal the ball. However, he was unable to keep it, and the ball comes wide out here, and it goes into the middle, driving forward. Alison Gasper trying to get there, however, shielded easily by Dionel Abraham, the captain, and Mahu are able to bail through Nick Anthony. Attempted flick on there, stopped by Aoife Nichols. However, Nick Anthony able to clear on the rebound. Augustine chasing the ball down, putting some pressure on Lockhart, and Lockhart unable to keep the ball in play, and the ball goes out for a throw.
Typically, our captains,
Throw in taken there. Lockhart been very busy in the first few minutes of the game. Been putting a foot in, not really allowing Mahu to settle a dangerous attacking team led by coach Kenny Fesprey. Mahu usually will put some pressure on the opponents. Jan Timothy, Yanazai as he's affectionately called by his team, wins a corner there at the first one of the game, and Mahu really turning the screw here in the early parts of the encounter.
we United has set a quick corner by the Mahaut Soca strikers. The headers goes wide by number 12.
Yes, Jan Boston just getting the header a bit off there. Lennon Band is putting him under some late pressure, forcing the error there. Lockhart playing the ball out to Aoife Nichols, able to keep it in bounds, pushes the ball into the middle for Gasper. Gasper threads the line, and the ball is a bit too strong there. Good play by the young man, getting himself in the play and pushing that ball down the line. Really a fan favorite, Alison Gasper. Bright future ahead of him, and kudos to We United again for developing another top talent in Dominican football. Kudos to Yvette Laura and the management team, as well as the coaching staff, for really doing a good job of building football from the ground up. For Nichols, Tory Christmas there, giving the ball away. The ball played all the way to the other side to Jamo Talbot, but Dale Dangaben is close in approach. However, the ball goes out for a throw-in over the touchline. Tory Christmas easily getting over Jan Timothy, but stamping into Tequante Woodman, and the free kick is given in the middle of the park.
The referee is calling for the medics. Apparently, the player's down and he needs some medical attention.
Seems that Coach K is the acting medic for the early part of the proceedings here this evening. Just going out to check on Tequante. A bit of a high boot there from Tory Christmas. Unintentional, of course, the way the ball came bobbling off the deflection. Hopefully, Tequante is able to continue and give the Soca strikers the push they need, really, because he's a really influential figure in the midfield, especially with the loss of DeMario Challenger, DeMario, a player who played a lot of minutes for them in the Premier League season, allowing them to get that second place finish. Hopefully, it seems that he's up and nimble and will be re-entering the game shortly.
Side of a free kick for the Mahu Soca strikers. Not a lot of power there, but they still manage to keep possession.
Addison Dennis there doing a good job of tracking back, winning the ball on Roosevelt Copel. Tequante Winman just pinching the ball off Allison. Allison doing a good job of pinching the ball off him though, and pushing the ball to Roosevelt Copel. Copel trying to get the ball in behind, and it does, and oh, just over the top there. A lovely ball there played in, and We United coming very close there to taking the lead early on in the proceedings. Addison John Baptist, the player coming, stealing in on the post there, almost getting that one to hit the top corner. What a goal that would have been to give We United the lead. Roosevelt Cooper winning the rebound and trying to push the ball forward to Jalil Alexander, who gets ahead of his man Nick Anthony. Jalil, can he create something here for his team? Crosses the ball in, Michael Gasper in the middle, but the ball headed out, and the shot comes in, and it scores! Roosevelt Copel finding the bottom corner, the ball coming in, and slotting that into the bottom corner there on the far side.
I must say, Jordan, we saw that coming, Jordan. We United keep having pressure in them so far, and they got fruits by scoring that goal by, how do you say, number 9?
Roosevelt Copel doing a very good job there of slotting the first one home, giving his team the early lead. He was very aggressive onto that ball. When it came out to him, he sprinted onto it and slotted it calmly, coolly, very professionally into the bottom corner. Dante Challenger left ground rooted on the line. No chance. 1-0 the score here. Mahu restarting. The ball with Timothy. Laying it off to Woodman. Woodman finding Anthony. A lot of pressure there put on by United. Throwing the result. Woodman making a run. Lockhart in close observation. Ball coming out into the middle, and Dangleben playing the ball forward to Gasper. Gasper laying it out to Alexander. Alexander trying to find Michael Gasper. However, he is thwarted there. Jan Timothy playing the ball over the top to Jamu Talbot. Can he find Clemson Isaac in the middle? The ball comes in, and Ban is able to poke it to safety with the help of Neil Dangleben. Turn made there, however, Boston with the foul on John Baptiste. Breakneck pace. Good pace to the game so far. Dangleben on the ball with the restart. Push the ball forward to John Baptiste there. Ball comes in. Anthony able to clear that, paying close attention to the ball, reading it better than anyone in front of Michael Gasper, and Ruzi Cooper for We United just caught a bit off there, and Nick Anthony able to clear. We United have set out in a good pace so far. They've defended when they've had to, but when they've gone forward, they've really gotten forward with pace and purpose, leading to the goal earlier in the first half. A good job by Dale Dangleben to keep it in bounds. However, just for a moment, the ball still goes out, and it is a throw-in to Mahaut Soca Strikers. John Baptiste with the intercepting header, and Timothy laying it off to Boston. Boston playing the ball forward to Talbot. Talbot closed down there by Christmas and dispossessed by Christmas. Christmas finding Gasper. Gasper unable to keep the flick on, and Challenger is able to collect. The ball almost given away to Gasper there. However, it goes all the way back to Lockhart. Lockhart takes a long shot.
Ooh, and that's just off by the captain Lockhart. What? That would be a spectacular goal that went in there.
Maybe he should consult Noah Joseph. Noah Joseph scored a wonderful 30-yarder in the First Division playoffs earlier in the DFA Football Association matches. And the football has been really good this year, I must say. Throughout even the First Division, the level has really gone up. Kudos to the DFA and congratulations to the president and vice president on their nominations on the committees, the standing committees that they were appointed. And the ball goes over, and it rolls into the goal. A major error there for Soca Strikers in the goal. Dante Challenger just allowing the ball to bounce over his head, and that is goal number 2 for We United. A ball seemed to that was just played over the top, and the goal given away there. Goalkeeper coming out rushing, and Yant Boston unable to clear the ball out of the goal, and 2-0 is the scoreline.
The score now is 2-0. We United 2 up, and the Mahu Soca Strikers are 0.
Well, Soca Strikers definitely need to get the next goal. I think if We United are allowed to get another goal here, they will definitely not be able to carry on to keep up the pace, and the season may well and truly be over. goalkeeping errors has definitely been a theme of the quarterfinals. Almost every match has had a goalkeeper making an error. And another one here this evening to continue the trend. Definitely maybe something, maybe a little more focus on our goalkeepers. But they have been doing a good job. They have kept their heads up and kept going. And Addison Dennis, a few steps over, was trying to find Clemson Isaac. However, the ball rolls over the goal line. Goalkeeper in close security, not allowing that one to surprise him. Goal kick. Ball play to Lockhart. Lockhart finding Alison Gasper. Gasper with the one-time lay off to Ethan Nichols. And they're coming forward. The ball played forward to Copel. Copel trying to flick the ball one time to Gasper. He would have been wide open. However, Addison Dennis was there to provide the defensive cover for the Soca Strikers. Your impressions of the game thus far?
So far, it looks like we United is in complete control of the game. Mahu have shown their teeth one to time, but generally, we United is in the forefront.
Definitely very good assessment so far. I think we United just seem to be the team who want it a little bit more, and they are making that desire count with a 2-0 scoreline. Abraham there with the clearance. Anthony on the line trying to head it in. Does a good job. However, Turi Christmas goes down a bit too soft there. And the game is allowed to play. Jan Boston trying to play the ball over. Gets the ball to Isaac Banis in close supply. Did he touch that ball? The referee says no, and we're allowed to continue. Alison Gasper in the midfield, stepping forward, lays the ball out to Ethan Nichols, releasing the pressure of the game, and we United are able to cross the halfway line. Very little pressure. The ball goes out to Copel. Can he take on Nick Anthony? Will he be able to create? He gets around him, he does, and he crosses the ball, and it goes in. Alison Gasper able to first time, but puts it in. Alison Gasper makes it 3-0 to we United. Wasn't able to get it the first time, however, on the second attempt, he does make his advantage count, and the young superstar of the Premier League scores again here, 3-0 to we United. Really and truly, you might say the game is over. We United has gotten the third goal, something we just said that Mahu could not allow to happen.
This seems to be a attack on the left.
Yes, the combination of Alison Gasper and Roosevelt Copel really seem to be causing Mahu a lot of trouble. They have been really attacking very solidly on that side. And then you also have the defensive solidity of Lennon Banis and Dale Dangleben on the other side. So it's really been a lose-lose situation for Mahu thus far. You had the first goal coming from the right side, the second goal coming from the middle after a goalkeeper error, and the third goal coming from the left. So really a tough night here for the Soca Strikers. Banis there in close security, not allowing Isaac to get onto that ball, playing it out for a throw-in. Really good play here by We United so far. They have not had the majority of the possession early on, but they really made the possession count. Ball coming in here. But the goalkeeper makes the save and wastes some time in the process and throws it out quickly. Ethan on the ball. Pressure there. Lockhart a bit firm with his touch. However, he gets it back and the ball is on with Nichols now. He pushes it on to Alexander. However, the touch there from Woodman allows Mahu to eventually clear the ball. Addison Dennis unable to keep it. Turi Christmas doing a very good job in that defensive midfield position, and the ball just behind Roosevelt Cooper. Very quick play there. Turi Christmas really doing a good job.
We United just seems to be a little more quicker to the ball than the Mahaut Soca Strikers, and that is causing them to overrun them.
Yes, they really are turning the screw on their opponents here. We United a characteristically fit team. Lennon Banis, the fitness coach, and even the club manager, Yvette Laura, a fitness enthusiast herself. So it's really a team that is built from the ground up with a core of being fit. And that is definitely carrying them through here in the first part of the game. They definitely seem to be up to the races. Not giving any chances punishing all errors thus far, really dominating the game with a convincing 3-0 scoreline. It just happens in football sometimes. Tough luck to the Mahu Soca strikers. They keep their head up and keep fighting because the game is still early. We still have a lot of time left to go. Cooper fighting off Anthony. However, Dennis coming in to play the ball out. Mahu making the error of refereeing the game. And instead of playing, the ball goes on there to Thomas. Thomas cutting inside of his man, Jan Boston. Woodman coming back there with the very late challenge.
United striker brought down. Yes, he seems to be on a run, but yes.
Jan Timothy seems to play a lucky to escape without a caution there. The number 19 really going in very firm there on the challenge. Definitely thought a caution would have been given a very reckless challenge. Really went in very firm on the attacker when there was really no chance to win that ball there. However, these sort of things happen in football. I mean, the referee did call the foul. He was very close in proximity to the play, and he did blow the whistle early and showed good control of the game overall.
Now the United players have a free kick on the edge of the box. Let us see what they can accomplish with that.
Yes, Jalil Alexander seems to be the one lining up this ball here. Terry Christmas just walking away slowly. Jalil stepping up, plays it over, and the block made there by Dante Challenger. The ball coming back in there from Terry Christmas, really having an all-around good defensive game, finding himself all over the field, really finding himself, played a lot of wing in the earlier parts of the season, but has really shown himself to be a quality defensive midfielder here thus far. And again, winning possession, and Nichols just a bit soft there, seemed to roll on his ankle, and the referee just stopping for a foul there. You know, Damnall always showing the players that they need to calm down a bit. The tackles are a bit too wild, but he's definitely keeping the cards in his pocket, but he's calling the fouls, so the players still are not feeling like they're being robbed.
So we have right now we have a second free kick. So that's one a little further back. Over it we have number 8, Jalil Alexander. Let's see what he can do with that ball.
Yes, he just had the last free kick. He made a very good attempt putting the ball on target. Oh. He goes for the long shot, but this time he does not trouble the keeper, and a bit of a wasted opportunity there. We United in control. Can Mahu lift their spirits here and get themselves back into the game? They've really been caught out by surprise here, and we United has just seemed to be the team who has wanted it more. Jamu Talbot coming in and trying to thread the ball through. However, Philson Lockhart in a good position. And Roosevelt Coppell gets around Nick Anthony. The ball coming in there. Michael Gasper unable to get it. Jan Boston. The ball going off. Roosevelt Coppell.
They just don't seem to have an answer for Roosevelt Coppell this evening.
Yes, he definitely seems to have the better of Nick Anthony here thus far this evening. Ethan pushing the ball outside, and Mahu moving up the field, making a lot of progress with the throwing route. However, they're not really in control of the ball. We United still are able to make some defensive actions. Shot taken there, blocked by Lennon Bandit's hand at his side. Early, the referee says no foul, made that call very early, very clear. Consistent game, I must say, by the referee. He may not be the crowd favorite. He may be a bit lenient, keeping the cards in his pocket, but he has definitely been consistent. Long ball going over from the keeper. Roosevelt Coppell really gets on the end of it. He makes it a challenge, gets it to Michael Gasper. Gasper takes a shot. On target, but saved comfortably there by Dante Challenger. Very good long ball by St. Ange. And Mahu really under some pressure here. We United are relentless with their attacks. Isaac winning the ball back. And the foul called there. And the referee saying that is enough. The referee said that's enough. A bit too much.
For the captain. Yes, and that's our first card of the evening.
Yes, I think it was a good time to give a yellow. A bit of challenges had been going in. The referee had been a bit lenient. However, I think it was one too many and it was a good call. Let's just hope that he remains consistent. The players need to understand that they need to respect the rule of the official, and the ball comes in.
The opportunity for the Mahu Soca striker player.
Yes. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. We United in full control here. Really putting their opponents under a lot of pressure. Ball being played out there. Possession one back. Dylan Augustine on the ball. Finding Jan Timothy to Quante Woodman, trying to play that ball out wide to Jamu Talbot. However, it goes out for a throw-in. .24th minute of play. Just about 21 minutes left to go in the first half. A little over halfway here, and we United are in full control. Dale Dangaben with the uncharacteristic error of the fall through, and possession is transferred over to Mahaut Soca strikers. Lennon Banis with the real authoritative defensive work there, and Jalil Alexander is able to push that ball forward, and Michael Gasper, running away onto it, pulls it back on Daniel Abraham and trying to get around him, does get around him, plays the ball to the back post, punched out by Challenger, and Woodman is there to settle the matter, and Mahu, ball given away there by Edison Dennis, but Nick Anthony keeps the ball away from Roosevelt Coppell, and they are able to clear the ball out to halfway.
The throw-in for Mahu Soca strikers. The referee has deemed it a throw-in for Mahu Soca strikers.
Jerry Christmas again in a very good position and fighting off two players, getting around the third and playing the ball forward. And Edison Dennis has to really make an evasive action there to keep the ball away from Roosevelt Coppell. Jerry Christmas really having an outstanding game here in the midfield, really preventing Mahu from building any attacks here. He hasn't gotten himself on the score sheet, but he has definitely been the platform that we United has built off to get themselves into this insurmountable lead, as it would seem. Christmas again, but with a combination of Augustine and the captain Abraham, Dangaben is now on the ball, pushes it forward to John Baptiste. John Baptiste plays in the ball, gets it over Talbot. Augustine plays the 1-2 with Woodman. However, Mahu are able to get away. And it is Christmas again with the key touch, allowing the shot to come in there from Alison Gasper. Challenger with a quick throw to Anthony. Coppell forcing him back. Alexander putting some pressure on Timothy. Anthony coming in, and a lot of pressure being applied there by Michael Gasper and Captain Abraham, but the captain doing a very good job of keeping him away, and the ball laid off there. Talbot to Timothy. Timothy taking his time, and Woodman coming into the game, and the ball laid over the top there. However, offside is the call. Players seem to have bought a piece of land there out in no man's land and flagged for that offense. Mahu trying to get themselves going, but again, I think Three Christmas has really made it difficult for them to execute their game plan through the middle. He has really been breaking up the play. What do you think of his game? What do you think of his game so far?
So far, he's on everything. He's like what they call a wild animal. He's there. He's all tackles. He's making sure that the Mahu players have a very, very difficult time with the ball.
Yes, he's really been all over the pitch for We United. Has had a lot of touches all over the field, especially in the defensive areas. Michael Gasper winning the long ball, trying to get Addison John Baptist into the game. However, a throw-in is the result, and Dale Dangleben is stepping forward to take this one here for We United. We United just turning the screws slowly but surely, and really putting Mahu under a lot of pressure in this matchup here. Coach Kenny John Baptist seems very calm, very confident. His team are performing very well, and there can be no complaints about their performance thus far. Foul call there. Jan Boston stands over the free kick for the Soca Strikers as they transition into attack. Ball play to Dennis. Dennis allowed to step forward. Pushes the ball into the middle. Anthony playing a bit of as an inverted fullback. Plays the ball over, but a bit too central. The ball could have been a bit.
Oh, and the goalkeeper seems to be do some tricks with the ball there.
Yes, just again he has that luxury of killing some time. His team are well and truly in the lead. Have a very comfortable lead right now. Coppell putting the defenders under a lot of pressure and eventually winning the ball here. Anthony allowing the ball to bounce and forcing Dennis into a very uncomfortable position. Dennis coming back to support Anthony, and they eventually get the ball away. However, the ball lost, and We United again in possession, double and triple teaming every time. Ball given away there by Dangleben. Timothy pushes the ball forward, but Banis is the only one there. Shepherding the ball back to St. Ange. Picks up the ball a bit quicker this time and rolls it out to Nichols.
Sending that hopeful ball to the top.
A bit of a slack pass there by Christmas. Augustine getting around his man, trying to set up the shot. The ball comes out to Talbot. Takes the shot. St. Ange watches it roll harmlessly wide. Goal kick. Mahu just don't seem to be at the races. We United definitely seem to be aiming to pull in some winnings at the track. Trophies are definitely their business. Trophies and youth development. Let's see the way they're playing. They definitely seem to have an intention of wanting to win not just the President's Cup, but maybe the FA Cup as well.
It seems like they have an aura around them, the way they are taking this game. Like they already know they're going to the finals.
Well, it should also be noted that it's the top 4 teams from the President's Cup competitions that will qualify for the FA Cup. And so we have the semi-finals. We have the semi-finals qualifiers. Basically, we have Southeast, Portsmouth Bombers, and Dubla FC having already booked their spots. So right now, we just have one more team, and We United definitely seem not just to want the semi-final space, but the FA Cup place as well. Ball going over the top, Addison Dennis heading it on the off target, but St. Ange catches and throws it out quickly to Coppell, who is able to run, and run he does. Nick Anthony coming into close supply, the back heel there to Jalil Alexander. However, Mahu able to collectively try to put them under some pressure. Ethan Nichols plays the ball back over Edison Dennis, only as far as Jalil Alexander. Alexander runs on with the ball. No one in the box to cross it into. Throw in there, taken quickly. Christmas on the ball. And a slack shot there. Christmas not really having the same effect on the offense as he's having on the defense. And the ball goes in behind there from Timothy. St. Ange allowed to take that ball comfortably and picks up and rolls out to Alexander. We United really looking something mean here this evening for bouncing up Anthony. However, he does a very good job there of keeping the ball in play. And the ball goes in behind there, trying to find Isaac.
What an interception by Lennon Barnes. If it was not for him, that would surely have been a goal.
Or goal attempt, because Isaac definitely seemed to be thirsty for that opportunity there. And a very good block there. Christmas with another good defensive effort. Allison Gasper fouled there while he tried to play that ball away. And we just want to say thank you to the supporters of the Dominica Football Association. Even in the inclement weather, rain is falling, but they are here supporting the Dominica Football Association events. They are very passionate about football, and we thank you, because without the fans, the game just does not have the same appeal.
Even if they are out there with their umbrellas, wide and large.
Yes, as we have a break in the game so that Alison Gasper can get some treatment. Shower is just coming down a bit heavier here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. Showers of blessings, as they would say. Definitely not the heavy flooding weather that was predicted. So, in as much as the rain must fall, I think we are very appreciative for the way that it has fallen. Terry Christmas trying to play that ball out to Roosevelt Coppel, and just a bit too long for him there.
To be some argument between the We United defenders. I hope that does not.
And the shot comes in there. Jalil Alexander just a bit wide there, pinching the ball off the Mahu midfield and taking the snapshot. I think the argument stemmed from the captain just trying to tell Terry Christmas that probably wasn't the best decision, and Lennon Barnes, the leader on the team, trying to just let them know that, that's okay, that has passed and we've dealt with the situation. And the two of them coming together here, and Alexander just unable to get the ball away. Advantage played. However, offside is the call. Michael Gasper unable to complete the action. Alison Gasper going down there again. Ball it seems that he was struck with an elbow while the player, Michael Augustine, was shielding the ball.
So, Jordan, what do you think the Mahu players need to do to get back into this game?
Well, I think getting back into the game might be a bit difficult for them based on what we've seen. I think they're really going to have to move the ball quicker. They have to be more proactive with their play, a little bit sharper with their movements, more precise with their passing. It's been very difficult, and United has really closed them down quickly. They've been very proactive on defense. Players like Terry Christmas, Philson Lockhart, and as you can see, the offside line for United, they're moving up very aggressively. Tackle going in there by Jalil Alexander. Winning the ball, however, going through to Quante Woodman, and the foul given there to Soca strikers. The ball tried to be John Talbot, switching wings. Daniel Abraham just playing the ball forward there.
The ball to each other.
Yes. Isaac trying to reverse pass there, but Terry Christmas again in a good defensive position, and United are able to move forward. Ethan Nichols unable to find Jalil Alexander. Timothy found there by Anthony. Dangleben in a very good defensive position, and the ball goes forward. Alexander unable to keep possession there and seemed to be a touch of Mahu.
Do you think the weather has anything to do with the way the Mahu players are performing?
I mean, the United players are in the same conditions. It just seems that the United players are more up for the fight. Mentally, I think United won the game in the mental aspect of the encounter. They've been sharper to the balls. They've been more aggressive when they've gotten in threatening positions, and they've been more clinical. I think there were a few errors by Dante Challenger. He has recovered and made a few good saves. However, United are putting them to the sword here, and the ball has gone out and came back in. Goal kick is the result. Ball played into Nick Anthony. And a slack pass there from Jan Timothy, unable to fly to St. Isaac. Ball finding Roosevelt Propel. 1-2 with Alison Gasper. And Augustine playing the ball over the top. Banis with the misheader, only finding to Quentin Woodman. Men filling up into the box. However, the combination of Nichols and Lockhart finding Gasper finding Cooper unable to get out of Augustine, but Nichols again with the clearance. Cooper trying to play that ball forward, finds Gasper, and the snapshot there. The pass Gasper to Gasper was definitely on. Was a goal that would have been. Ball over the top. St. Ange in a very good position there to collect that one for his team. Dangaben forcing that ball down the line there to John Baptiste, and a quick throw taken there by Boston, but Dangaben recovers and plays it out for a goal, a corner. Throw-in, sorry. Throw-in.
Let's see what Mahu can do with this throw-in. And a shot. Oh, and a goal for Mahu. That throw-in seems to have bear fruit for the Mahaut Soca strikers.
And Mahu have gotten themselves back in here. Good to see that the player he just got himself in position there, and they slotted that one in. I think the misheader by Lennon Banis really put his team under pressure, but those things happen, and we United have started again, and the ball is out to John Baptiste. They really trying to move down the field. Alexander trying to come inside of his man. Gasper trying to flick. However, Mahu are there. Abraham, as always, in close proximity to deal with the danger. Maybe Mahu has some fight left. Maybe this game is not over as over as we think. The game is 90 minutes. We did see Point Michel taking an early 2-goal lead in the second semi-final last night over Southeast, and losing the game 3-0. Javi George with a brace.
There seems to be some entertainment in the crowd there by.
Well, Horacio just letting the people know that he still has the touch to make something happen.
United have a corner.
And the header one there by Ethan Nichols, however, over the top there. Definitely a player who has made the most of his transfer. played for a very long time for we United. East Central never really got a shout on the national team, but after a very dominant season in defense with we United, he has gotten a call up and will be part and is part of the training squad currently in training. Terry Christmas lays the ball off to Kopel. Kopel, can he get around Nick Anthony again? Anthony making up for lost time. However, the reverse pass does find Christmas, and Christmas finds Gasper. Gasper closed down quickly by Abraham, and Augustine is able to get away. Can he play the ball forward to Dennis? Yes, he does. And Barnes is there, making amends for the last error, and the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Another throw-in. Last time we know what happened last time.
Yes, they definitely seem to be coming alive. Nick Anthony lining up the shots. Nick Anthony really getting into some dangerous positions in that inverted fullback position, finding himself in some pockets of space in between the lines in the middle. A bit of a firm pass there from St. Ange to Nichols. Nichols could have probably been a little bit more on the line. The pressure from Mahu seems to be paying off.
Seems like the Mahu players are trying to get back in the game. And that's your fourth throw in about, I'd say, 10 minutes. Oh, and a nice turn by
Clemson Isaac. Yes. Jared Alexander getting the ball out to Roosevelt Kopel. And he gets away. Woodman does a good job of taking the ball away, and Dennis gets it out. Eventually, not really allowing that possession, that break.
They seem to be doubling down on Mr. Kopel.
Definitely, I think it's a necessary action. He's really put them to the sword earlier in the early proceedings of the first half, put them under immense pressure, and it's really been a task here for them in this first half. Ball cleared out by Abraham. Very consistent, reliable figure throughout the season. Definitely one of Mahu's standout players for the 2025 Premier League season. He's really been a consistent and reliable captain, I must say. One of the captains who definitely stand out for his team. Whenever they need him, he's always there. Even whilst they're down, he's been fighting tooth and nail. And hopefully the comeback could be on. Augustine winning possession here. Anthony playing the ball forward. Sharp pass, they're trying to find Jambo Talbot. Clemson Isaac also there. That could have been something dangerous if Roosevelt Cooper was not alert. But alert he was, playing that ball out calmly and coolly. Christmas again in a defensive position for United. And the foul given there to Christmas. Being caught out a bit and just giving up the foul. Better to give up the foul early though. If you give up the foul in these early positions, it's very hard to get caught out as opposed to waiting until you get down into the box. Quick free kick taken. Timothy laying the ball off to Boston. Boston playing the ball to Woodman. Woodman laying off to Abraham. Playing the ball forward there. However, Talbot was a bit too deep there. Cooper turning in and trying to find Gasper. Boston. Christmas plays the ball forward to John Baptiste, and we United our way again. John Baptiste breezing past his man, taking the shot. And again, John Baptiste going for the top corner.
Acceleration by John Baptiste to get off that strike.
Yes, just blowing by his man, Jan Boston, really leaving him no chance. But a beautiful flick on there by Clemson Isaac. And Lennon Banis getting the ball out. Last action of the first half. 3-1 the score here. We're taking a 15-minute break. We'll be right back. Any last words before we take our halftime intermission?
For me, I just have to say that so far we United are in complete control, and if Mahu wants to win that game, they need to come out second half fighting.
And let's hope the game continues in the same vein that it has started off. We'll be back in 15 minutes' time.
Hey, how long I waiting for that game there, boy. I can't wait to see who that win today there, boy. Yeah, boy, but what happened in there now? What are really going on there now, boy? What the game now, boy? Boy, I swear to the other game, boy. But where everybody now, boy? Boy, where everybody now?
Oh, they moved the game to another date, bro. Don't be like Mister. Follow the Dominica Football Association on all social media platforms to stay updated.
Starting out the second half. Yes, Mahaut Soca Strikers has the ball. And a hopeful pass by number 9. And we have a quick turnover. Oh, and a collision there. And the referee deems it no foul. United now is back on the attack. And the keeper from Mahaut Soca Strikers calmly collects the ball. Mahu seemed to start the second half with a little more energy. Let's hope that bears fruit for them. Interception by Mr. Reliable, Lennon Barnes. Recovery from the Mahu team. Now we the keeper plays the ball out, and an interception by number 9. No, we have a free kick for the Mahaut Soca Strikers. And the defender plays the ball in and a control. Oh, the referee deems a foul for the Mahaut Soca Strikers, and it seems to be in a promising area. We have many players over the ball. A lot of the Mahu players seems to be interested in this one. The ball is set. And nearly. A quick restart for the We United team. And a pass to Mr. Kopel down the left wing. And a pass inside, but was intercepted by a player from Mahu. Yes, we have. Yes, as I said previously, the Mahu players have come out with newfound energy for the second half. Nothing has manifested for them as yet, but that's a throw-in which they scored from earlier in the game. And a clearance. Yes. Throw-in. And it's a throw-in for Mahu, number 12. And welcome back to my co-host, Jordan Luke.
Yes, just got a bit caught up in the halftime talk a bit. Some of the Mahu fans saying that there's definitely a comeback one, but Michael Gasper in some space here. Missed touch, and Dante Challenger able to collect.
St. George, Mr. The Mahu player seems to have new energy for the second half. He seems to be a little more sharper on the ball.
Well, the fans feel that there is a comeback coming. The captain, Alexander, down.
Must play to the whistle, and here comes the whistle by the referee.
The referee a bit delayed. in blowing the game to a pause. It was a heavy tackle there from Isaac on Jared Alexander.
And what is your thought on that? I see sometimes when a foul happens or a potential foul happens, sometimes the players themselves stop. But my philosophy is you play to the whistle.
Correct. I think I learned that lesson from a referee, a former referee, and he said that the biggest mistake a player can make is to referee the game for the official. You know, you have to let the game, you have to play until the whistle is blown, as you would say. Filson Lockhart, the player who went down, not Jared Alexander. Jared Alexander is number 8. Filson Lockhart is number 5. The captain just receiving some medical treatment there.
He seems to be on his feet now, so I don't think that will be the end of his night.
Well, he was being checked for a knock, and in recent times, the procedure has been that the player has to stay off a mandatory amount of time after being checked for a head injury or possible concussion. So let's just see how long he stays off the field. He seems to be still feeling the effects of that blow. Maybe he had the wind knocked out of him. Talbot on the ball after the pass from Boston, tries to return the pass, but Jared Alexander now is on the ball, putting Timothy under pressure. The ball finds Nick Anthony in the middle, and Shemaiah Dangaben coming in at halftime, wins the ball back. Alexander unable to control that ball there, and Dennis through Abraham bobbles the ball over to Anthony. Anthony finds Dennis. Dennis comes inside of Dangaben, playing the ball over Banis, heads that one down. Tackle made there. A lot of firm play going in there. Challenges going in left, right, and center. Mahu coming away with the ball. Timothy chipping it over to Talbot. Talbot has Boston in support. Men in the middle. Crosses the ball in. And Dennis heads the ball, heads it down. Could not head it down target. Lockhart back in the game.
So we got nice cross there and 2 players waiting for the ball, but we got nothing.
St. Andrews playing the mind games. Clemson Isaac still in the box, so he can't really be considered for time wasting. The Mahu player still in the restricted zone. Missed touch there by Dennis. Gasper on the ball. We United breaking forward. Men in the box. Gasper unable to get the cross in. Dennis not giving up and playing that one out for a corner kick, sorry. And it seems that Filson Lockhart just hunched over there. Still seems to be feeling the effects. Hope he is okay. Hope he's being monitored. Definitely seems to still be feeling that heavy challenger when he hit the ground from the challenge by Clemson Isaac.
Let's hope he can continue, because he would be a big miss for the United. Captain reliable, some may say.
Correct, and he's coming forward now for the corner. Ball comes in from Jared Alexander. Augustine partially clears, and the ball is played back to Dangaben by the captain. Ball a bit too long, and Boston is able to collect. Finds Woodman. Woodman turns on Christmas, and Christmas trips him with the trailing leg. And it seems that Shemaiah Dangaben has come on for Allison Gasper. The young man giving a solid 45 minutes there. Should be very proud of himself. Augustine trying to get the ball to Woodman, but Woodman getting tangled up in his feet. And a loose ball there. Dangaben though getting the ball to Gasper. Gasper getting away from the defenders. And Coppell trying to find Dangaben. Offside. Very sloppy play there by Uzi Coppell, not getting himself back into onside position and gaining an advantage by receiving that ball there offside. Very clear and quick call made by assistant number 1 there on the near side. Ball played over by Dennis.
Who seems to be trying to utilize that left flank to get back in the game. This is with their third attack right now going down the left-hand side.
Another very long clearance there by Lennon Barnes. Nick Anthony again picking up space in the middle and receiving the ball. Augustine unable to play that ball over the top there. Addison Dennis had made the run. Run forward made there by Ethan Nichols, and he eventually wins the corner of Edison Dennis, putting his man under a lot of pressure there. And the foul given there, a bit too aggressive there by Shemaya Dangaben, trying to make an impact as the halftime substitute. And it's a substitution being made here. And it seems that Dylan Augustine is being substituted and Francis Luke, number 7, is coming in. Ball goes over to Addison Dennis and crosses it in. However, Clemson Isaac a bit too far and Francis Luke a bit too deep, and we United are able to clear. The ball pushed forward there to Jalil Alexander. Jalil able to keep that ball in play, and he's striding forward. Nick Anthony facing him up. He gets around him, tries to lay off the ball. Michael Gasper pushes it on, only as far as Jan Boston. Talbot able to push the ball forward. And the acrobatic clearance there by Ethan Nichols forces the ball wide. Addison Dennis is there, crosses the ball in, 2 men in the box. And a very good defensive header made there by Terry Christmas. Francis Luke taking a shot. And just wide there. Mahu definitely seem to have an intent of coming back in the game.
Yes, and that's their second shot on target since the second half has resumed.
Yes, trying to put a bit more pressure on St. Ange. However, that one was off target. The ball not forcing the keeper to make a save. Very sharp shot though. St. Ange had to get down and be in that position. However, the ball going out for a goal kick. Long ball finding Roosevelt Coppel. Coppel finding Gasper. Gasper in an offside position though. Daniel Abraham in close proximity. Not sure if he would have actually been able to get away. Jan Boston able to play the ball forward. And winning back possession with a long stride of Shemaya Dangaben. However, unable to keep possession for his team. John Baptiste keeping the ball away from Woodman, but Alexander cannot keep the ball away from Boston, and throw-in is the call.
Seem to be having more of a 50-50 exchange here by the two teams.
Yes, again, some of the spectators felt that Mahu seemed to be a bit flat in the first half, not really sure if they were not up to the races. We United definitely had a high intensity in the first half, and they've maintained that intensity somewhat. But Mahu seemed to be matching them a little better in the second half and putting them under more pressure. Beautiful touch there by Michael Gasper, and Addison John Baptiste unable to keep the ball in play. Boston keeping that in play, and Talbot unable to keep that away from John Baptiste. Dangaben finding Alexander and making a run, but making the errant touch, ball going out.
A lot of error seems to be happening on that right side of the field.
Ball did seem to come off the hand, but the United player had picked up the ball. I think this is actually an advantage for Mahu. We United would have been on the counter attack, and they would have been able to apply some more pressure to the goal. John Baptiste crossing it in early and hitting the support frame. Just a bit too high. Tried the early cross. There were men in the box in that general vicinity, but the cross itself was lacking some accuracy. Francis Luke controlling that ball, trying to flick on to Clemson Isaac, but Lennon Banis, solid as a rock, clears that all the way back to his opposite number, and Michael Gasper wins the first touch, and the ball comes off Gasper, and a foul given there. Seemed to be an infraction. Mahu living dangerously, putting themselves at high risk here. United knocking on the door. Not sure if the flick on or the dummy worked, but Addison Dennis is now on the ball trying to get around Lennon Banis, and Lennon Banis just not allowing him to get around him, putting a body on him as he tried to play that ball forward. And
again, a slow restart by St. Ange.
yes, really taking his time, playing the mind games. John Baptist giving possession away. Boston crossing the ball in early. Offside seems to be the call. The linesman. It definitely seems to be the player who was in the onside position was the one who made that touch on the ball. However, the linesman felt that the offside player was interfering with play and the infraction given. St. Ange taking his time again. The missed kick, long ball eventually got to John Baptist, but John Baptist, under no real pressure, gave the ball away on Francis Luke and to Conte Woodman, playing the 1-2, ball getting over, pressure on We United, and St. Ange going up high, firm and strong, and coming down with the catch. St. Ange really having a good game here this evening, and he just throws to the end of the box and is playing a long ball out to Ruzi Kopel. The touch and getting around his man Nick Anthony and winning the foul here. Very good play here from Roosevelt Kopel, and it seems that Nick Anthony is the recipient of the game's second yellow card, and he goes into the referee's notebook after preventing Roosevelt Kopel from getting around him. Beautiful piece of play, first with the touch, then with the skill, eventually getting around his man and being held back there, but not losing possession though, which is very good in the overall scheme. But the free kick is taken. Casper kept away from the ball. Dangleben heading the ball the wrong way. But Turi Christmas again in a very good position for his team. Alexander keeping it. Timothy giving away possession. And the foul given there. Jalil Alexander has run a very hard race. Seems to be a bit tired there. Or maybe he's just taking some time, killing the clock. Allow it some minutes to run.
Smart tactic, you know, you're up, you know, you take that little extra, you know.
Time management is the name of the game at this point for Valvoline United. The less time that Mahu has on the ball is the less time that they have to score. Christmas high and out of the park. Definitely has not had a good offensive game. I think he has had a very good defensive game. In the times when We United has needed him to pick up a man and recover position, We United recorded 10 interceptions in the first half, and Turi Christmas definitely would have accounted for more than half of that number. However, he has given away possession a lot of times, and again, winning possession back for his team, this time making a firm pass out to the wide side. Roosevelt Kopel crossing it in early. Abraham there to deal with the matter. Luke trying to find Isaac. Lockhart with the foul. Christmas there clearing the ball out after the whistle had gone, but the ball is quickly back in and no harm, no foul. Isaac feels that there should have been some firmer infraction. Seems that he has been under a lot of close security. The United defense has not really allowed him to roam as freely as he would have liked, but at this level, you respect good players.
He's operating almost as a lone striker, so you can expect a lot of contact.
That's maybe why Francis Luke has been brought into the game, a more physical presence. Dylan Augustine had been getting into the game, but he was not really in a position to really support Clemson Isaac a lot of the time. And the foul going there to the Soca strikers. Michael Gasper seems to be the one to have made the infringement. Early cross coming in from Addison Dennis. Francis Luke putting them under a lot of pressure. However, Timothy a bit too far back, and John Baptist able to clear. Boston trying to play the ball out, and it eventually gets to Anthony to Dennis. Dennis with too much, and the ball is won back by Dangaben. Alexander trying to lead the ball off to Gasper, but Edison Dennis stepping forward there. Talbot allowing the ball to roll out for the throw-in.
Along the line that the Mahu Soca Strikers coach is back in orders to his team.
Yes, a very demanding figure, Coach Kenneth Esprit, one of the B license recipients in Dominica. Kudos to him. And his team has really played a good brand of football. I mean, after struggling in the first year back, to come out second in the league, they've really had a good season, and the ball just behind Jan Timothy there. Again, the players don't seem to be up to it. Alexander getting just a bit ahead of his men there and eventually winning possession. John Baptist playing the ball out to Coppell, swinging that one around Coppell, able to get onto it, and we United are able to come forward. Talbot getting back and blocking that pass from reaching Jalil Alexander. Corner to we United.
Coppell has been a consistent threat down that left-hand side for the United.
Yes, definitely a source of solid pressure. He was really he scored the first goal, I think it was, for United. Alison Gasper scoring the third. Ball falling on the back post there to John Baptist. Sorry, John Baptist was the first goal scorer and he has gotten himself a few chances, missing the top post a few times, and with that opportunity there, Dangaben just playing that ball out of bounds, trying to find John Baptist. John Baptist, a very speedy player. The back heel, unable to find a man there. And it seems that Roosevelt Coppell has gone down. Medical on. Player seems to be feeling a bit of a pressure. And I can tell you, don't take these Premier League games for a joke. These players they play at a pretty decent intensity. If you're not fit, you're definitely not going to be able to keep up. And even if you are fit, you still may have some trouble. Just keeping your bearings, because the ball does move around very quickly. The players are decent skill. And again, the quality of football is improving. I think more teams are trying to play with their feet instead of simply banging the ball out. But the defensive aspect of the game, the physical fitness, the levels of the game has also improved. Not just in the Premier, but in the First Division as well.
The players from accusing the United players of time wasting. Yes, but we have to go on with the laws of the game. Players to get off the field so the play can restart.
The dark arts, as they would say, techniques mastered by coaches like Jose Mourinho and others like him. We have the lead, and we are going to keep it.
Now seems to be a massive amount of throw-ins close to the corner flag.
And Boston for the long throw, the flick on. No one really attacking that ball. Clemson Isaac winning the flick on, and Coppell seems to have recovered as he's chasing that ball down the line. Faced up by Woodman and Anthony, and plays that ball in. And the deflection rolling out here but easily collected by Challenger. Not I guess the United players on the far side, Gasper and John Baptist, did not expect that ball to make its way through. Dangaben just putting himself in the way, not really giving Francis Luke a free opportunity to kick the ball. Francis trying to kick through Dale and seems to have just put himself in a bit of bother, but Dennis easily getting around his man, and Timothy finding Abraham. Abraham lays the ball off here to Boston. Plays the long ball just a bit too long here, and Ifa Nichols able to clear, but only as far as Francis Luke. Francis plays it out to Dennis. Dennis plays the early ball. Jan Boston coming in. Dangaben, on the second time of asking, eventually gets the ball away. And
another throw-in for the Mahu Soca strikers.
Yes.
Okay, but before that, we are going to have a sub.
Yes, and number 8 for the Mahu Soca strikers seems to be coming on. Clemson Isaac, the player who has gone off. And number 8, according to the team sheet here, is can't seem to find him. Shot comes in, blocked by Philson Lockhart. And they are able to escape.
Good clearance by the captain right there.
Clarence made there. Anthony, the player, coming in for Mahu. Seems to getting himself in the mix of the player, but Dale Dangaben easily holding him off. But he eventually comes back, but Dale not giving up, and Dale shielding the ball out for Christmas getting himself in the way, Anthony getting around him. Throwing going out on Christmas.
In the corner.
And
again, throwing, I would say.
Yes, another
team. Hopefully, this is maybe a tactic to put the We United team under more pressure. And a long throw is coming in.
And the We United dealing with that basically by the hair of their teeth. And the ball gets into the hands of St. Ange, and he's able to collect that. Gasper going down, Woodman taking on all challengers, but Philson Lockhart coming away with the ball. They get the ball eventually to John Baptist, and John Baptist plays the ball out. Gasper is on the ground. Playing the ball out there so that Michael can get some treatment or get some attention. Doesn't seem to need any, but has gotten to his feet. And the game will restart with a throw-in by Mahu. Anthony putting Dangaben under some pressure, and Woodman able to pick it up. A bit short on the pass, and Kopel is able to break on Anthony. Kopel gets around him easily, but Dennis is there and shepherds that ball out. Does a good job on the defensive side there, not allowing Roosevelt Kopel to get around him. Kopel has definitely had the beating of Nick Anthony. Nick Anthony being caught out a number of times here. Whilst he has taken up a very innovative role in the midfield for his team, stepping in field, he has definitely been caught out a number of times. And Dale Dangaben on the ground here, allowing Jamu Talbot to pick up the ball. Cross comes in. Ifan Nichols is there.
Players down for We United, number 4.
Dale Dangaben, the player.
Ben.
Yes, he seems to have run his race. Definitely been put under a lot of pressure. He's come with trumps most times, but he really has been put on. He's been targeted, you could say. Dale is a player who has really come from humble beginnings. He is a player who some may not have rated or ranked as one of their favorites. Maybe did not give the most confidence when he first came in as a young man, wearing number 15 all those years ago for We United. But right now, he is on the national team training squad, a player that, you know, I remember when he made those tackles in the national team game in the friendlies against Barbados, and the crowd was cheering for Dale. And it's good to see that he has risen to that level of popularity within the game, a game he has committed so much to. And Jarek Parker coming in immediately as a substitute. And Abraham able to win the ball, however, fouled there by Michael Gasper. And the ball challenger picking the ball up and throwing it back to Jan Boston. Long ball played forward there. John Baptiste, able to play the ball around the goalkeeper, but unable to get around Nick Anthony. Nick Anthony finding Tequante Woodman. Woodman finding Dennis. Dennis trying to get around Nichols and is fouled. And Nichols seems to be going into the book here. Yes. Another yellow card here given, third one of the game. The referee definitely has been lenient to the players, but it seems that in the second half he has been a bit more strict. Second one of the half. Still have a bit more time to go, and the players need to watch it, as second cautions will result in a expulsion.
Tricky player, the Anderson Dennis, on that left flank there for Mahu.
Talbot unable to keep possession there. Lockhart not allowing him to. Ball played forward there by Michael Gasper. Lockhart making the run forward. Playing the ball 1-2 with Jalil Alexander. And Alexander just getting caught on the ball and unable to find Shemaya Dangaben. Boston still forward. But Turi Christmas winning possession back again for his team. He has definitely done that a number of times here. And the ball given away there by John Baptiste. Jason Anthony taking the shot. The substitute player really fighting for that ball, fighting tooth and nail against fellow substitute Jarek Parker, getting away from John Baptiste, getting away from Parker, and eventually striking the ball on his right foot on goal. Just a bit off target there, but a good effort made by the young man, the substitute, really showing the effort that Coach K would be proud of.
He seemed to come down with a mission to pull his team back in this game.
Well, that would have definitely done a world of wonder for his team. That would have made the score 3-2 and would definitely have been one of the goals of the weekend, if I do say so myself. Ball forward there. Gasper one-on-one with the goal, but tries to make the early cross, and the goalkeeper is able to collect. Woodman with the faint touch, and possession is lost. John Baptiste driving on the line, crossing it in. 2 men at the back post. Cooper tried to keep it in. Ball cleared high into the air by Dennis. Nick winning possession back, and the foul given there by Michael Gasper. Michael definitely needs to be cautious here. Has made a number of fouls in the game and may be at risk. Substitutions coming in, and it's number 14 for Mahu. Coming in for Edison Dennis, number 24. So Mikel Bastian is the player who has come on to the game. If Nichols getting high and winning the header. Shemaya Dangaben unable to keep possession. Mahu trying to win the ball, but Jalil Alexander driving forward. But dispossessed by Jan Timothy. Ball now with Tequante Woodman. Woodman getting around Shemaya Dangaben very easily, playing the ball forward. Anthony trying to turn on Lennon Band is very difficult to do. And Turi Christmas is able to find Coopel. Coopel playing the ball forward to Alexander. Alexander is offside. However, Nick Anthony would have had him dealt with as he won back possession there. Long ball coming over the top. And Timothy unable to pinch possession. Christmas again winning back the ball for United. And Gasper is able to bring someone else into the play. Coopel driving forward, getting past his man, one-on-one. Can he get his goal? He lays it off, and it's easily played in there by Jarek Parker. And it is 4-1. We United putting another nail in the coffin. And
it is by Mr. Coopel once again showing why he's a standard player for the We United.
Yes, Coopel bringing back the brilliance that set up the first goal for his team, setting up the first goal and the second goal. I think the goals usually get the attention, but the assists are just as important. And he really has a good game, has had a good game on the left side, applying a lot of pressure and really drove that ball home there for his team. Jan Boston with the long ball, trying to find Francis Luke. And the goal scorer, Parker, trying to get around his man. But again, Turi Christmas in a good position to support in a defensive midfield position. Ball goes forward. Woodman with the heavy touch. Christmas again. Ball going forward. Gasper, heavy touch. Ball goes out. And it will be a throw-in. Touch there. Last touch by Dionel Abraham. Close proximity. They're not really letting Michael Gasper get away. But Gasper putting him under a lot of pressure, forcing him to play the ball out for a throw-in. Parker stepping forward to take the throw-in. Approaching the 84th minute of play. The game moving on nicely. We are doing well here. It's been a very, well, I wouldn't say even matchup. United has really been head and shoulder above their opponent. They've dominated the game. They've had the lead for almost the entirety of the encounter.
Yeah, but there have been moments where the Mahaut Soca should have shown their class and an intent, but I guess that is not enough so far.
Yes, and the ball cleared out there. Very affirmative clearance by the Mahu Soca strikers. Tristan Anthony just doing the ball boy activities because it's obvious that We United are not going to chase the ball. They are in the lead and they are going to take their time in the end of the game here. Quick for taking no. Jalil Alexander getting around his man, getting around the second man, getting around the third man, and the fourth one just a bit too much. Jan Boston winning the ball. Ball going to Jamu Talbot. Turi Christmas again. Winning back possession for We United. And the ball goes in and Challenger is able to collect. Christmas, again, one of the times when he just makes an error when he's on the ball, but tracking back and is able to receive the pass. Shemaya Dangaben doing a very good job of sparing the blushes of his teammate, and the ball just a bit too long for both of them. Again, Christmas on the ball usually doesn't make the best of decisions, but he has really gotten himself all over the field and really stifled this Mahu team, not allowing them to really get forward as they would like. Ball cleared out there by Jarek Parker.
Experience at the throw-in by the Mahu Soca strikers. One of many.
Header there by Lennon Barnes. Jalil Alexander able to collect, driving forward, plays the long ball, and offside is the call here. Michael Gasper just a bit offside there, and we have some substitutions being made here for We United, and Cherry Christmas is coming off, and we have number 6 and number 3 coming on. Leon Edwards, one of the players coming up, and Yannick Vigilant, number 3. Yannick coming on for Roosevelt Coppel, and Cherry Christmas being replaced by Leon Edwards. Yannick Vigilant going out to the wide area, one time being forced into the play, and Leon Edwards, a more usual performer, doesn't usually play these limited minutes, but very good by Cherry Christmas to come in and really have a very good performance, very solid performance in the midfield. Definitely a bit of improvement needed on his offensive game, but defensively he definitely provided the platform that his team needed for a very good defensive performance. Throw in all the way on the far side. Not really sure what happened there, but it is a throw in to United. Vigilant getting forward, but giving away the foul. Quick restart, it seems.
He's allowing the player to take it from where he is.
Ball seemed to have gone on for a long time before it was actually called. And Timothy able to lay the ball off. And the cross coming in there. Man on the back post. Parker struck there by Anthony, almost making an impact as a substitute. However, Leon Edwards clears. Daniel Abraham able to control that ball nicely and tried a bit too much and got caught on the ball. And the ball played forward there. Almost found, trying to find Michael Gasper. Shemaya Dangaben on the ball, driving forward. And a bit too firm there.
Too much trickery there, even psyching out his own player.
I always felt on plays like that, I would prefer the ball to be played to my feet as a player. However, the ball in space there definitely did not work. And the ball played through there to Alexander. Alexander didn't give the return pass. John Baptist definitely would have wanted a second goal here this evening. And the ball by Jan Boston, unable to beat Ethan Nichols, really has had a good solid game in defense. Leon Edwards finding Vigilant. Alexander.
The other game, Mr.
Barnes
with
driving forward. Barnes striding forward, crossing the ball over to Gasper. Gasper offside.
Solid defender trying to turn a great provider there. But
it's usually the sign of a good defender, the very best in the end of the game when his team needs the situation arrives to step forward and create a goal scoring opportunity. And that was almost what Lennon Barnes was able to do here in the dying minutes of the game. Anthony all the way on the other side, but giving away with the errant pass. Jarek Parker. Shemaya Dangaben telegraphed that pass. And Ethan Nichols able to win the header and play the ball out for a throw-in. It seems that there will be 5 minutes of extra time. Slip made there by the player, a bit too hasty. Winning the ball back there and putting his man under pressure, but only able to give away another throw-in to his opponents.
To take a few inches there.
Pushing the back there by Nick Anthony. Frustration just boiling over for Mahu. It's been a difficult night at the office. We United have really turned the screws hard here. Put them under a lot of pressure. More pressure coming. Michael Gasper, will he get that goal? Gets the header off target.
Is still looking more likely to put another one.
Jan Boston finding Chaston Anthony. Anthony fighting Nick Parker, Jarek Parker, sorry, and wins the infringement. The two substitute players going head to head. Boston playing the ball forward, finding Luke Anthony in good support, but can't get around John Baptist and is fighting away with the men on the side there and gives away the foul. Takes the early foul there, not allowing his opponents to break. Can't give up another goal. Smart play there. Professional foul, as they would say. And it's good to see that the young man has a good head for the game. And just the control play there by We United. The ball is Lennon Barnes.
Just waiting by Lennon Barnes.
Standing on the line. And the ball does not go out for a throw-in. It's with Jared Alexander, who plays in. Jarek Parker, can he get a second? The reverse ball, they're trying to find Leon Edwards. And Boston is able to collect. However, Boston is able to finally clear. Timothy is driving forward. Lays it off to Dennis. Dennis continues the drive, but We United have recovered their positions. Timothy picks up the ball in midfield. Lockhart gets the ball, and the possession continues. However, they give the ball away again.
The captain of We United is down, but
yes, definitely collided with Jan Timothy. However, the advantage did seem to have been played. We United were on the ball. Just the errant pass gave away possession. And Philson Lockhart is now receiving some attention. Just about 2 minutes left to go. We United in possession. And the ball just played over to the Mahu goalkeeper. Abraham with an uncharacteristic error. Nichols with the clearance, Vigilant trying to find Gasper. And Gasper with the header, Vigilant driving forward, gets on the ball, tries to play the ball back to Dangaben, who had made the run forward. However, only as fast challenger, who makes the long throw, Parker read it like a book, and is now driving forward, gets around Talbot. Talbot giving away the foul there, and the infringement is called, and it seems that Jamo Talbot will receive a yellow card for his troubles.
Think of the man of the match so far.
Well, man of the match, there were a number of candidates, but I think the player who stood out the most for me is the player who probably played, well, is the player who played only one half, and that is Alison Gasper. I think in his time on the pitch, he was very influential, he was very dominant, he scored the third goal, and there is a reason why We United were able to score 3 goals in the first half and only 1 goal in the second half, and that was the impact of young Alison Gasper. He picked up a lot of very good pockets in the game and really allowed them to dominate the game going forward. Jalil Alexander laying it off to John Baptist. John Baptist trying to get around Talbot. However, Talbot doing enough. And Timothy is now on the ball. Reckless challenge there. Early card given there to Parker. Parker really needs to keep his head in the game. He's just coming on and doesn't want to be giving up cool heads being called for.
Mahu seems to be rallying for a red card for Parker, but the referee is sticking with the decision of a yellow card.
I think if Ian Boston had not gone into the challenge, then maybe it could have been a clearer case. But considering that the player on the ball went in to protect himself, Francis looked at the ball on Jamu Talbot, trying to play the ball in.
Again,
Lennon
Barnes for the final action of the game.
Yes, and we United, the fourth team to qualify for the DFA FA Cup, the fourth semi-finalists in the President's Cup. Congratulations to all the teams who have made it to the next competition and also to the semi-final of the President's Cup. Later this week, the fixtures will be out. Well, the fixtures are already out. We know that we United will be facing... We'll have to confirm. We'll have to confirm. Southeast, we United, Dubla, and the Portsmouth Bombers. So it will be Southeast versus we United and Bombers versus Dubla, the North Side derby in the semi-final. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. We expect to see a lot of fans at the Stock Farm Technical Complex for that matchup. Any last words before we sign off?
Just want to say we have a good atmosphere here, and we just want to thank the fans and the supporters, especially DFA and external parties. Okay.
All right, that's all for us. And